Hi, this is Josh, and I'll be going over iodine. Iodine's name comes from the Greek word iodes. It means violet. It was first discovered and isolated by a French chemist, Bernard Courtois. However, another French chemist, Gay-Lussac, was the one who suggested the name. Iodine has an atomic number of 53, and this means it has 53 protons, neutrons, and electrons. The only naturally occurring isotope is iodine-127. This means that it has more neutrons than protons in the nucleus. It has 74 neutrons and 53 protons. So why is it important in the body? It's essential to brain and skeletal development, especially in pregnancy and infancy. A deficiency can be detrimental to the cognitive development of children. A severe deficiency will result in permanently stunted growth, mental retardation, and delayed sexual development. If the deficiency is only mild, the symptoms aren't usually noticeable, but by adding iodine to such children can actually improve their cognitive ability. Iodine is used in the thyroid glands in the body to help produce thyroid hormones. Thyroid hormones help to regulate metabolism. The only cells in the body that do absorb iodine are the thyroid cells. So how the thyroid works. So it starts at the hypothalamus, and it releases a hormone called TSH or TRH. So that's TSH releasing hormone. That travels to the pituitary gland, and which causes it to release TSH, which is thyroid stimulating hormone. Then this hormone goes to the thyroid gland and causes it to release thyroxine and triiodide threonine, which is T3 and T4 respectively. The creation of these hormones is impossible without the help of iodine. So, the other applications of iodine include cancer treatment. Iodine-131 is a man-made isotope of iodine. It's radioactive, and the way it works is with the knowledge of only the thyroid gland can absorb iodine, we can put this radioactive element in our body with minimal damage to the other cells. So the thyroid gland will absorb the iodine, it will kill the cancerous thyroid cells, and then it will be secreted from the body as waste. Now, because no other cells absorbed it, there's little damage. So, moving on, in the early 1900s, people were forming what's called a goiter. So that's an enlargement of the thyroid gland, and it's caused because of a deficiency or toxicity. But back then, it was almost always because of a deficiency. And what happens is it'll enlarge, it'll reproduce, it'll make a lot of cells to try to absorb more iodine, but that's not the problem because you don't have any to absorb. So then you get a goiter in the neck that looks like that. So the US government approved the approved adding iodine to salt, iodized salt. And the thinking was that everybody uses salt, so if we add iodine to it, it'll help prevent deficiencies. It's also iodine is also added to the making of some other food products, but not very many. So iodine has no direct interaction with other vitamins and minerals. So it won't touch a calcium or a potassium and cause something bad to happen. They don't really, it doesn't mix with other things. What it does do is, in the case of deficiency or toxicity, is it will cause all your metabolism to slow down, so all the reactions in your body slow down. In total, your body contains around 20 milligrams of iodine. The daily value is set at 2 grams daily. However, that varies depending on your age, gender, and conditions of the person. So, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, then you need a lot more iodine. This is because you have to supply yourself and the baby that you're carrying. While, like birth to 6 months, right here, it says 110 micrograms. This 110 is much, much more important than this 150 for adults. Now, it's still important for adults to get the recommended daily value, but early on, it is absolutely crucial that you're consuming enough iodine. Here's a list of some foods that are high in iodine. So, seaweed has an abundance, very large amount. This, so the ocean has iodine in it, and seaweed tends to collect it, which is why it's so high. And then probably the same reason would go for cod and why it's so high. So if you're looking for ways to consume enough, the easiest way is to buy iodized salt or consume dairy products. I mean, if you want to eat seaweed, that's fine, but you still need to be careful because it is far beyond the recommended daily value. Conclusion. So, because iodine has a low daily value, it's very easy to get the recommended daily value we need. The U.S. has taken measures like iodizing salt and adding it to the preparation of some foods. It's prevalent in dairy products, in grains, and some fruits and vegetables, as long as the soil was rich. So, deficiencies are pretty uncommon in the U.S., but they can still happen, or it can still occur. So if you see anyone with a goiter, they probably are deficient in iodine rather than toxic, unless, of course, they eat seaweed regularly. And that'll be it. That's all I have for you.